think we have most everyone who confirmed the meeting. So first, I'll just say a quick hello. Welcome everyone to the first Business Club MAC meeting 2022. Glad you're all able to join today. It's good to see you all. I want to go ahead and welcome our chair and vice chair, our chair Vineet Verma from World Trade Center Bengaluru, and Khair Ulnisa, our vice chair from World Trade Center Noida. Thank you both for stepping into these leadership roles for the Business Club MAC over the next 2 years. I know you have a lot of ideas to start us off with, and I'm really excited by the direction that you both are proposing for the MAC, and I think everyone else will be as well. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand the meeting over to you two.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal, and thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity for the next couple of years. It'll be our effort, it'll be a joint effort to sort of try and propose new ideas as far as the WTC Business Clubs are concerned, the world over. And of course, we do need your advice. So that the whole idea today is to not only introduce myself and Khair, of course, you know very well. She's been in the system for many, many years. And I'm the new baby to the group. So I represent 5 World Trade Centers in India. The WTC Bangalore, WTC Chennai, and we have WTC Kochi. These are the 3 operating World Trade Centers, and we have licenses for 2 more that we plan to set up soon. One is in Trivandrum and one is in Hyderabad. So I also head the hospitality business vertical for my group, Brigade Group, Bangalore base. And of course, I'm going to be assisted very ably by my colleague, Khair. And so maybe I'll request Khair to introduce herself. Of course, you don't need any introduction, but as a formality, maybe you should.
Thanks, Vineet. You're so kind. Even Crystal has been so kind. I'm so glad to be meeting you all, and I know most of you. I represent World Trade Center Noida, especially as a vice chair for the business club. But I also represent 13 World Trade Centers across India, and these are very large World Trade Centers, 4.2 million square feet, 6 million square feet, and more. At various stages of development. Some are operational, at least 6 of them are operational, and 7 more are at different stages of getting designed, under construction, and so on. So I hold that responsibility for these 13 World Trade Centers in India. And I'm so glad that actually Vineet, under the leadership of Vineet, he's a very good friend. And I remember when I had just joined the World Trade Center fraternity and I was looking and exploring how to set up a business club, I had actually reached out to Vineet. He was my first mentor for a club because he was operating that club for Brigade Group, whose World Trade Centers that Vineet is actually hospitality was what he was heading, and now he's heading the World Trade Center Bangalore and others. So probably we have a mutual fan club going on between Vineet and me. So it's so great to be with you all, and I really hope that we would be able to contribute to the Business Club MAC together jointly with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Khair. Thank you. And before we go any further, I'd like to welcome, we have 9 World Trade Centers who are new to the Business Club MAC, and it's so encouraging. So I'll probably just call out the names and welcome them with open arms and hoping that this tribe is going to grow further. So we have WTC Abuja, WTC Seattle, WTC Faridabad, WTC Winnipeg, WTC Houston, WTC Santiago, WTC Shamshabad, WTC's Karichuba, and Joinville. So I think that's a good number to have. Welcome all these World Trade Centers, and let's hope that we do good business together. So with this, I think I'll hand it back to Crystal for taking forward the agenda, and I'll step in when required.
Sure, thank you both. So our agenda for today, let me just pull it up. We already covered a couple of points, and I think we'll get into more of a presentation from Vineet in a moment. Let me go ahead and put up share screen here, our agenda. So we already did our welcome and share here. All right, I'm on a different computer right now, so it's a little different for me. Let's see. Are you able to see the
Yes,
agenda?
Crystal. Yes.
Yes.
So we'll have, Vineet mentioned the new members that we have here, and then we'll go into a discussion of the proposed initiatives that Vineet and CARE have built around or developed for 2022. The first of those, I'll just give a brief update on the launch of our Complimentary Benefits Catalog to the digital format. And then Vineet and CARE will go into an examination of existing World Trade Center Business Club models and a project around kind of finding commonalities and a better definition of what is a WTC Business Club, as well as the development of a proposed World Trade Center Business Club model or template that we can possibly establish moving forward at the association level. And then we'll just go into an open discussion, other business, including that MAC meeting tomorrow, that fireside chat for Trade Services EMEA, and then adjournment. Vineet, was there anything else, or should I go ahead and just?
No, I think please go ahead. Please go ahead, Crystal.
Okay, great. So let me stop sharing. So just in terms of a quick update for the Complimentary Member Benefits Catalog. So for those of you who this is new for, the Business Club MAC developed a benefits catalog back in 2019. And we've been working on making it not a PDF that people email me their details about, but building it into our website and into InfoShare. And so it would be information that is viewable by the general public, by your own members, your business partners, and you, our members, would have access to download a physical catalog and contact details for World Trade Centers when you're logged into the website. And so just a quick overview of the project. We already built into InfoShare reciprocal benefits. So the InfoShare had already captured what benefits you offer at a comparable rate to other members and their business partners, their networks. So for this project, we built in a second function into InfoShare, where if you tell us, for instance, that you run trade consulting, you'll be able to click on whether or not you offer something for free, complimentary, to other members in their business networks. And then if you say yes, a little drop down will come into InfoShare, and you'll be able to tell us what exactly you're offering for free. So if it's 2 hours of consultation, you can say it's 2 hours. That will be fed into our CRM system, into the website, into a separate benefits page that the public, everyone will be able to see. And it also will feed into a little notation on your World Trade Center profile page, so that we're capturing it in a few different places, and you'll really be able to promote the reach that you have to our international network. So that catalog will first launch an InfoShare campaign very soon. We're just going through final updates to InfoShare. And then once we have enough InfoShare forms in and completed and approved, and the catalog is populated, then I'll send a separate announcement for the launch of the catalog itself, and then you all will have immediate access to that. So that's a very brief, I think that was brief, maybe it was a little longer than you may have wanted, overview, but yeah.
I'm sure members have a lot of clarity, Crystal. Thank you, Crystal. So taking it forward, what we have proposed now is that while the concept of business club, WTC Business Clubs, has been there for many years now, except that we felt that maybe it's time for us to standardize the operations of what a typical WTC Business Club stands for. So there's some kind of a uniformity. And I've also been interacting with some of our WTC members the world over, where they are seeking clarity as to what is this business club all about? How do we set up a business club? What is it that we should be offering in a business club? So there is some lack of clarity. Some of them have an impression that we need to have an elaborate hotel-like club in order to qualify. In some places, they say we don't have even a banquet hall. What do we do? So today's presentation, we are going to make a brief presentation to all of you. I have my colleague also logged in, Vivek. So Vivek, maybe you can share the screen. And we'll run you through a quick presentation on what we feel could be the way forward for Business Club. Of course, this is a food for thought, so I must clarify, it's not something that is a decision. It's something that I'm sharing with you, seeking your inputs and your advice as to whether this is the right direction, how do we take it forward. So again, welcome to the very first Business Club MAC meeting for 2022. Happy to have you on board. Yeah, Vivek, next slide. So what has this WTCA envisaged in terms of a business club? It's basically a part of an international network of World Trade Centers acting in nearly 100 countries, more than 330 cities. You all know this. The worldwide vision of WTC is prosperity through trade and investment, pillars being collaboration, knowledge, internationalization. WTC Business Club is to get itself as one of the most important business hubs in the world. I think the business club from a WTC point of view has great potential. As of now, as per the information available with us, we have about 98 World Trade Centers who have an operational business club in whichever format we can talk about. But the potential remains far more, as you can see. Next, Vivek. So what is this proposal that we have for Business Club for you to consider? With the support of the board, members of the Business Club can be made more lucrative and positioned as a revenue generating vertical. Now, this is something very important. The first point I made is that it need not be a complimentary service that the World Trade Center offers. You can actually have membership subscriptions. You can charge at various levels what kind of facilities that you offer. You can have a certain charge for that. So it actually can be a self-sustaining and revenue generating model for you as a WTC. Presently, less than 30% of the centers are now listed as having business clubs. This shows potential. The model has to encourage others to enroll. Association may potentially offer a global WTC affiliate club membership. This is something which I've been speaking of for some time now. I think the moment any WTC has a business club, there should be a system through WTCA that all other WTC business clubs worldwide become automatically affiliate members, so that members of each WTC business club are able to avail of the privileges, benefits, and services of other business clubs worldwide. So that is the basic foundation on which the WTC Business Club can go forward. For a licensee, this would be on a subscription model, which is city-centric, and you can have an annual subscription systems, or you can actually have biannual, you can have 10-year subscription, various tenures. The options are many. The WTCA club membership can be branded as a value addition to the existing membership framework of WTCA with defined benefits and a global access, which again, I mentioned to you about reciprocity. A reciprocal membership to be extended to all club members so that a member of one club can avail services, which I mentioned earlier. Objective of this model is to assist WTC members, reciprocal members, and communities in promoting international exchange and fellowship. A worldwide affiliation will enable members to use the services and facilities offered by respective business clubs in both paid and complimentary formats. So there will be a set of services that you will offer complimentary, and there will of course be a set of services mostly on the social side, whether it be room bookings, seminar hall bookings, all that can be on a paid format. Next, maybe. So these are the 4 clear benefits that you as a WTC can have if you were to have a WTC Business Club. Privileges and benefits available to members through affiliate business clubs, and this applies to all your occupants of your WTC. All the tenants and occupants that are occupying your World Trade Centers can actually avail of these privileges and benefits worldwide. It will improve member engagement across the world. It will add value for occupants of WTC. And more importantly, from a real estate perspective, it adds potential premium on your lease rents. If you have a business club in your World Trade Center, you can definitely enjoy anywhere between 10 to 15% premium on your lease rents if you have a business club. Next. So the services that typically a business club can offer, and this list, I must tell you, is not exhaustive. I mean, we can keep adding to the list based on what the requirements are, or what the customers and members expect from us. But for example, free access to discussion rooms, a fixed number in a month subject to availability, listing of the members in the respective WTC websites, featuring in the newsletters, access to business network of all World Trade Centers worldwide, invitation for WTC events, and discount for paid events, both online and offline events. to be a part of inbound and outbound business delegations hosted by parent WTCs. Complimentary consultation per month with trade promotion officers of respective WTCs and respective cities. Free access to reciprocity desk service. This will be available 24/7. Privilege card for easy access to WTC facility across the world. Now, this is a great potential for us to brand and further promote the branding of WTCA worldwide. If you were to have a common membership card with just a city-specific branding on that card, this can be a great value addition and actually further promote the brand of World Trade Centers. Access to WTCA's annual member forum, introduction to tenant companies, better rate for banquets, food and beverage, and other club services, including spa treatments, hotel rooms. So the list is endless. We can offer a host of privileges. And of course, offer you a virtual address as a member. Next. Now, this was a question often asked to me by a number of our members, that what should be the minimum eligibility criteria for you to be called a WTC Business Club? So here, what we are basically proposing is that we can actually have, in today's world, post-pandemic, that has taught us that you need not necessarily have everything on site or physically available. Now, a whole lot of services can be made available online. So I have subdivided the whole eligibility criteria into two baskets. One will be the physical services, which is on-site or collaborative. I'll explain what collaborative means. Access to banquet halls or seminar halls, as we call, which can accommodate up to a minimum of 100 people, with conference exhibition facilities, meeting rooms, incubation, co-working spaces, restaurants, bar, business center facilities, round-the-clock support desk services, monthly networking meetings, and quarterly newsletters on club activities. Now, let me explain here that not every World Trade Center will have these physical facilities available in-house. I'll give you an example of our own in Brigade. What we have done is we have collaborated with a neighborhood hotel. We have collaborated with a neighborhood club. So we have actually collaborated with them, made them as our partners, and we extend those services to our WTC members, and in exchange of certain revenue share. Now, these can easily be worked out. So World Trade Centers who do not necessarily have these facilities available on site can easily collaborate with their neighborhood facilities, be it clubs, be it hotels, be it restaurants. I think that can be a great value addition. In terms of online services, which all of us have been doing of late for the past 2 years, at least all of us have been doing it, these trade education webinars, virtual B2B and B2C meetups, virtual trade expos and conferences, exchange of trade information, reciprocity desks, and the list goes on. What we are also proposing is we can consider various kinds of memberships. Memberships can be open to tenants of our World Trade Centers, affiliated trade associations, because every city, I'm sure, has a chamber of commerce, certain government bodies, agencies. You can actually tie up with them, local and regional chambers of commerce, as well as to government agencies, investors, startups, other business service providers. You can open up your WTC Business Club membership to all these people, of course, on a subscription basis, and that becomes a source of revenue for you. Broader category can be corporate memberships, one nominee, multiple nominees based on the local, and you can charge that in local currency. In fact, we have had several inquiries in our World Trade Centers where the corporates are wanting to become members of a World Trade Center Business Club. We are also offering overseas membership, single and multiple. This can be charged in US dollars, of course, a universal currency, where you can actually open up your membership to people who frequently visit your respective cities and World Trade Centers. So they can actually visit your World Trade Center and participate, or actually take the privilege of your respective business clubs. So the timeline that we are proposing, that we want to have a very focused approach, and of course with your help and guidance, that we want all our members to help us take it forward, is that we would like to have a business club MAC with a tenure of 2 years. That's already done. In 2022, this year, the focus is to double the present membership base of the business club MAC. And I'm so happy that 9 new members are already on board. Consultation with present members, raise awareness level, address concerns, and sign up for collaborations. Now, this is something that I would urge all business clubs which are already operating. If you can go ahead and start collaborating with your neighborhood facilities, be it hotels, be it clubs, I think that will be a great value addition to your respective World Trade Center business clubs. And next year, we want this to be a year of standardization of services of a business club, so that, worldwide, we actually have a basic single model which is easily recognized by any typical World Trade Center Business Club member. So that is a target for us for the next year. So some food for thought. What we are wanting to leave with you and get your advice on is, A clear definition of the business club model, which was missing, we need to define it. Widen the awareness level inside MAC as well as other members of association. Run a survey and get feedback from members on the interest in setting up business clubs in their respective WTCs. Seek inputs from World Trade Centers that have already rolled out a club membership. Global collaborations or services can be explored. Empanelment of service providers and the revenue model. Create literature and a guidebook on the model proposed, which we plan to do with your inputs. How to make a WTC Business Club profitable and sustainable, because a lot of concern actually goes into respective owners of World Trade Centers worldwide is this a viable model? Why should I set up a business club that's going to bleed money for me? So idea is to propose a model that is self-sustainable and in fact profitable. Project this as a revenue model rather than focusing on freebies. Discussion and opinion on reciprocal membership. Ways to position this membership as a global passport. So what I've actually proposed is that we can actually have a commonly designed WTC Business Club card, which is easily recognized world over in any World Trade Center. And of course, we'll need the blessings of everybody in WTCA office, including Crystal. How do we design this? And the only thing that differentiating will be the city name of the business club. And of course, a need for a universal logo and a tagline for the WTC Business Club. So this in a nutshell was my presentation, which we have prepared. Khair and I have put it all together with seeking your inputs. And now I open it up for discussion. Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
Can I start?
Please. Yes, please.
Yeah, well, congratulations for the work that you've done so far, and CARE. I'm really happy to hear, and I'm excited to learn more about how we can possibly standardize the operations for the business club. In the case of World Trade Center Metro Manila, we've been operating our business club since the time we started 25 years ago. And see, our main business is the exhibition center, and we also have a business club there. But the truth of the fact is, the revenue that we generate from the business club is really not very relevant. It's more of a service. It's very service-oriented to the members that we have, which on a year-to-year basis is kind of difficult to sustain. And it's largely anchored on the number of programs or projects that we organize for the benefit of the members. No? And so I'm really looking forward to learning more about the things that you guys do so that I can learn from what you're doing and how I can make my business club really profitable. And that's the first point. And the second point is, we've been doing several programs, as I mentioned. We have, several seminars, and we feature speakers this was pre-COVID times. And during the 2 years of the health pandemic, some of the programs that we have, we've actually learned to pivot them online, right? And if the physical event was not, we were able to generate revenues, but really not very profitable, all the more when we pivoted online. So it's really more for market presence and as a service to members and to our constituents. But there's one program that I'm really very excited to grow, and this is the Certificate for International Trade program. And I'm sure some of you have heard that some of us in the network have actually already started to introduce the certificate program for international trade. And I just like to put that in the table because it would be great if, even that certification program could be standardized network-wide so that we all, have the same objectives, we have the same mission, and that's to upgrade the skills and the knowledge of our members in terms of doing business internationally, right? So that's basically the goal of the certification program. It's to reach um, practitioners of trade who don't really have any formal training in exports and imports, logistics, and all that, no? And well, at least for our particular program, that's really our objective, to be able to upgrade the skills of trade practitioners so that when they're prepared already to, start doing business internationally and, match them with foreign counterparts, they are already equipped, no? And it would be great if, it would be an added credential to the program if we say that the certificate program that we carry is actually recognized by or is standardized by the WTC, right? And that, each of us, if we, each of the WTCs who are prepared to already mount the same certification program in specific localities, then there's something to learn from. You're not starting from scratch. There's a foundation to it, right? So I just put that on the table, and it could be one of the programs under the club, that we could introduce.
Thank you, Pamela. I think that's a very good point you have raised. So if I may take the liberty of answering a couple of these. Your concern about not being a viable club and that basically it becomes more like a service. Let me put it a little frankly. In my personal opinion, it's my opinion. I think we are taking our business clubs very seriously. Like it's turned out to be a very serious entity, only imparting training, online webinars, etc. Whereas what I am proposing is add a social angle to it. Make it a happier place. Make it a place where you can actually come and chill. Put your feet up, have a drink, enjoy yourself, relax, enjoy the benefits of a WTC Business Club by staying at a hotel that has offered you substantial discounts. These are the kind of things which, and also second point is that I am not sure whether you have opened up your WTC Business Club membership to the local audience also in the city. And that is what I am proposing, is that open up your club to the local audience also. They need not necessarily be occupants of your World Trade Center. They could be any member of the city. It could be a corporate house. It could be an individual or a startup who wants to become a member and avail the services worldwide. So I personally believe that if you were to adopt that model, and that's what I propose in my presentation today, if you would adopt that route, I'm sure it's going to be a viable entity. Business clubs can be viable. They can actually make money for you.
Thank you, Vineet. We've actually opened up our membership to non-clients of the World Trade Center, and we've touched on, corporations, government agencies, SMEs, exporters. We have a whole, the profile of our members really cuts across, different entities, and there must be something that you're doing right that we're not, and that's why I'm here.
Any leisure activities are you having? Do you offer any leisure activities, any entertainment, food and beverage?
Well, the activities that we've been offering so far are really more on business, more on updating of skills and knowledge. We've tried to do some leisure, activities, but not really as much. So
let's say if I was to visit if I was in your World Trade Center and I have had meetings the whole day, and the evening following, I want to host a cocktail for a few friends of mine. Do you offer that service?
Definitely we do. Yeah, definitely we do.
That's good. So I think that's what I'm proposing. We need to work together to come up with these kind of ideas where you make it a viable proposition, a big idea of a business club.
Like a music night or a jazz night,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even spouse nights, the ladies' night out for the spouses of the members.
I also wanted to share, when it comes to a typical social club, at least in India, if you were to want to become a member of any social club in India, it will probably take you 20 years to become a member.
Yeah.
So, and that is the time, there's such a long waiting list. So that is where this is the gap that a WTC Business Club will fill up in that city. You can offer similar services and with a quick gratification, instant membership.
With an advantage of being global.
Sorry.
I said, with an added advantage of being global.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But it's a good idea, Pamela, of a standardized trade education or certification programs. That's a brilliant idea, actually.
Definitely, that definitely is a very good idea. We should take it forward.
Yeah, I know of some of us have actually started doing it, like Denver was really the expert in delivering the certificate program for international trade, and Winnipeg as well, and Mumbai, I know they have their own, but they probably call it differently. So it would be great if we could, come together. If we make it, a project under the business club, that could be something, that we could share information and, and see how we can marry all of the information that we have together, combine them all, and, and just standardize.
Brilliant suggestion, Pamela. I think we should take it up.
Yeah, and we can bring it up, Pamela, in the next Trade Services APAC MAC meeting as well. Sounds like there's a few of you, but yeah, that's a good project. I think Vineet, also, it sounds like you're saying in your presentation also, we have a theory at the association that a member of One World Trade Center has access to all these services, but we haven't been good at physicalizing or making it more concrete. And so one of the ways, I know you mentioned the business card, we do technically have a member e-card that we issue to certain members. It is just a PDF that myself or Chanel Kasich update anytime someone emails us a new name, a new member of their World Trade Center. And so I would say for that, if the MAC can think of ways, is there something we need to look at making it more digital format for a business card? I don't know whether or not we think of, a database that might get us down kind of a wormhole that we don't want to go down in terms of a database that feeds into everything. But if there's some other way, these ways of making these services, this business club network a bit more concrete is definitely needed.
We can do that. Now with the blockchain technology and all, I'm sure we can have this digitally certified membership cards that cannot be hacked into.
Great.
But Vineet, you know what? I have realized with my members, they have actually, or probably it's got the cultural thing, they've actually like to carry the card, maybe to show off or something. They like the physical card rather than a digital card.
Well, the WTC used to have an actual physical card. Didn't you guys have?
We used to, yeah. They stopped years ago for the because they were plastic. It was thought they weren't.
Yeah, there was.
I have a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
I had a few questions. Thank you. Sorry, Pamela, to cut you. I have a few questions to Vineet. As you know, Vineet, in WTC at our WTC in Rennes. For those who don't know me, Nicolas Beatty, WTC Rennes Bretagne, Western France. We have several clubs. Our clubs, we have one club and sub clubs, if I may say, and these clubs are divided according to countries. We have these clubs on Quebec, Canada, the US. We have a club on Iran. We have a club on Russia, actually, also. And so we focus mostly on the international aspect, the international connection. From what I'm hearing, Vineet, your idea is to branch out in a way and use that best-in-class business class aspect of the WTC, which is great, and I think is very interesting. The members here in Rennes joined the WTC because of the international connection, and not as much for the best-in-class aspect. And my second question, actually, well, that was not a question. It's leading to a question, which is how much do you charge? How much do you have in mind? I know that members here don't pay that much. I mean, we're around 400 to 500 euros for membership, and I should possibly go higher. And I know the WTCs in Lille in France or other cities in France can charge up to 1,000 euros a year. What range do you have in mind?
See, for us, Nicholas, in India, what we are actually have in mind that we were planning to roll out, at least in Bangalore, for our business clubs is about $250 to $300 annual fee. It's a nominal fee.
Okay.
Just about $300 annual fee is what we are talking about. And in exchange, you get a lot of benefits and complimentary benefits.
Sure.
So the idea is to keep it very nominal. So if you're going for a corporate membership, of course, the fee goes higher. But this, I'm talking about a $300 per annum is for an individual becoming a member.
Per person. Okay.
Per person.
All right. I was talking per company.
We have $1,000 and it goes up to 2,000 for corporate with 3 included in them.
Correct. So that's a corporate. Correct. So we have a similar fee structure for the corporate.
Okay, thank you.
If I may add something to that, we have a fee depending on how much employees there are. So 1 to 10 employees, they pay 320. Startup companies, they pay 160. Then we have 10 to 100, they pay a little bit over 500. 100 to 500 employees, they pay 750, and then over 500, they pay 1,000. So they can come with 1, 2, 3, or 4 persons. So that makes it also easy to join when you are a smaller company, and we are mainly focused on SMEs. So and the larger companies, they pay something more, so they also know that they in that way support the smaller companies to become a member of our business club, and that is pro company. So we have no individual membership, we have only membership of the companies.
Adding to what you said, Freak, what we have is for startups, we charge them Indian 10,000 rupees, which is almost 100 to 200 US dollars. That's the startup category. Then we have the gold and the diamond, which is for corporates. Then we have another category of membership, which is in that we have 4 or 5 layers. Which is slightly expensive, but that's more on visibility and marketing. That is for large corporates. So what we've done is we've categorized a membership into startups, MSMEs, and large corporates. For the large corporates, we've got 4 or 5 categories, starting from 500,000 and going up to, and that is INR, that's the Indian rupees, and going up to 20. Almost 2 million Indian rupees. So, but more from a visibility and display features more in them. So newsletter, websites, everything, events. So they basically take up for the annual, they pay the sponsorship for the annual year for the events and all. So more on visibility.
So, Crystal, while individual cities and countries can have their own rate structure by all means, but it will be a great idea if we would actually collate it all together as information so that we have some common foundation on which to base our membership fee. At least the structure should be similar, but the rates can be different. So if we can request all members to share their data with us through WTCA, so we can put a paper together.
Maureen?
Yes, thank you. Thanks for all the work that you've done on this. I mean, I know it's been I'm sort of a dinosaur with the association. I've been there around for a long time, and I know that there have been, many attempts to create, a global business club as part of the association. And I think that there's something to it. The association hasn't cracked it yet, but I'm glad that this committee is looking at it, and I think that this is a terrific start. So thank you for all the work that you've put into it. I think that the point around pricing or offerings is really where it gets tricky, because there's not parity. There's every market is so distinctly different in many ways, and I can speak to, our three World Trade Centers that are under the Drew umbrella. Even in the United States, between Washington, D.C. and Boston, Massachusetts, they're such different markets. And what the community at large will buy into is very different in those two markets, as it is with the World Trade Center in Dublin, Ireland. So we find ourselves having different models between our World Trade Centers. And we have an ability to offer, different things to the users of our services in each of those different businesses. But I think the idea of taking all of these ideas and focusing them on a few things where we think that we can build reciprocity. So where we, not have a lot of offerings that one of our members goes to another World Trade Center and they don't even reply. I think that we have to have, a sort of standard to start with, where we pilot something, and maybe we even pilot it between a few World Trade Centers to get the model right. And then we, kind of others will join if they see success, because I think that also different World Trade Centers struggle financially in different ways. And so offering, a membership that, doesn't help with the, the overall, P&L of the company becomes a struggle. So, I think this is great. I think there are a lot of questions. I guess what I'm saying is I think there are a lot of questions that we could tackle as a group to really bring something forward that is meaningful and it obtainable for the majority of World Trade Centers. But thank you for all this work and just some thoughts.
Absolutely. That's why I shared food for thought, so that we are inviting questions. Let's debate over the next few weeks, a few months if required. Let's debate, put it all together. Idea is that this effort, at least these 2 years, should see the fructification of all the labor that has gone in the past.
Yes.
And let's give shape to the WTC Business Club.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the lead on this.
Thank you.
And I think
Any other-
Maureen, you bring up a point. Oh, sorry.
Crystal
Yeah.
Bose here. Vinith, first of all, I can say excellent presentation. The concept is really too good. I can know, wherein one hand you provide the trade information which you are supplementing to the business club activities too. Now here the thing is, you are referring that membership card that is not for the business club. It is just a member of the particular World Trade Center. You are providing that PDF file, if my memory is correct.
No,
For
that's the question for Crystal.
whichever the World Trade Center chooses.
There is
Yes.
no separate card as a business club member.
No,
World Trade Center,
both, there was, I'll tell you what, because I had reached out at that time, Julia was, one is a membership card for the World Trade Centers, say for example, Noida, and for the members of World Trade Center Noida also, there is a card.
Correct. The members of all the World Trade Centers, respective, they provide a card. Beneath what he is referring or what he is suggesting, there should be a separate card for the business club membership.
Exactly. That's what my proposal is.
That it really makes a difference. That it really makes a difference. Now, if you look into the World Trade Centers promoted by the Chamber of Commerce, maybe I don't know, they may be having a member like 10,000 or 5,000, etc. All may not be interested to become a member of the business club, but business club membership, it is something unique. It is elite.
Absolutely.
It should stand.
That's the idea, boss. I think you got it right.
Yeah.
It pays to have a formal colleague on the other side.
I also personally feel like this is a gray area which is untapped.
Yeah.
Which really have a great potential.
Yeah, thanks, Bose. And I think also going back to Maureen's point, I think you bring up a good point in that there are different models out there. And so I don't see World Trade Center Winnipeg here, but I think they've had the question in the past in that they can't necessarily charge for their business club. And so, to say off the bat that there has to be a charge for membership may be difficult for them, because then they're competing with their local chamber, which they can't do because they receive federal funding. And so looking at those commonalities and seeing where we can build off of is
absolutely. As long as you have a minimum set of services that you're offering as a WTC Business Club, I think you should be fine. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, if we have a minimum set of, let's say, 8 services that you should be providing physically and virtually, you can offer 100. I mean, there's no limit to that. And as a question of charging for a membership fee, that should be, the decision can be left to the individual WTC Business Club. Correct. Whether you want to make it complimentary or you want to charge, that's entirely up to you.
Like I remember when I was in Seattle, and World Trade Center Seattle, they have a beautiful club, but only for the tenants there that they have in the World Trade Center. They're not actually opening up that membership to outsiders.
Our suggestion is to open it to the city.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that. So there are different models which are existing within the network.
No, look at the hidden benefits that you have an independent member who joins your WTC Business Club. He need not necessarily be an occupant, but tomorrow he can be your potential occupant. He can be your potential tenant. So I think there's a great opportunity from a real estate perspective also to have a WTC Business Club open to all.
Considering that I have a lot of real estate, I'm also looking at your members to become my occupiers.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, I'm happy to tell you that we are in the process of signing up MOUs, reciprocity MOUs. We have already signed with 4, Vivek, am I right?
We have signed with 3, sir.
3. As of now, we have signed with 3 reciprocity MOUs. We have already started the process. And I'd encourage everybody to do that. I think that's a great move.
Vineet, these reciprocity MOUs are with the
individual
partners?
WTCs.
Okay,
no, individual WTCs. Yeah.
But is that really required? Because from what I understand from Scott, it is not required because we have an inbuilt reciprocity within the
let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. This is more like formalizing something which is already in place, giving it a bit of a thing, and giving it a bit of a media hype, if I might, just to promote the brand WTC.
Though I have 20 to 30 such MOUs, but I'm just telling you that because Scott said you don't require it. So why are you doing it?
Make some noise about
paid
it.
services, it's okay. For business club, I think so. It is better to have individual MOUs.
Perfect.
Hi guys, just want to put my comments on the table. I think what you are doing is such a fantastic work. I think the first moment is to understand what each business club does, because we know we are so different and each business club offer different kind of services, and maybe try to design a model that a business club, what a successful business club would be. We cannot force the WTC to establish this model, but yes, it's a start, like for WTCs that want to have a business club. And then I like it, the idea about having a global passport, which means like, if I'm a member of a WTC and I go to another WTC that has a business club, what I will have. So maybe have some kind of 1 or 2 points that this member can find in a different WTC would be great. For example, I don't know, a person that will help them, I don't know, establish in a different hotel, or maybe helping in an agenda. Sometimes like 1 or 2 points would be a great idea for a member that wants to have the network, the international network, as a different benefit.
Thank you. I think we'll do that. And Crystal, in fact, I would request if the presentation I made today, if this can be circulated to all members and inviting them to give their comments on the presentation, give their suggestions and advice, so that we can finalize the way forward.
Definitely, yes. And I know you mentioned a survey earlier as well. So perhaps if the group can agree on some questions that you think are most important. Surveys can be difficult to get people to complete, and so I would say be as brief as possible.
Okay, what I'll do is, Crystal, I'll help there. I'll draft one survey with maybe about maximum 8 to 9 questions, and request you to circulate that. So Vivek and I will get together and get it done, and take CARE's inputs as well, and then send it out to you in the next few days.
Fantastic.
For me, as the chair for the trade services, there is always this connection between business club and trade services. Maybe we should also further explore there the opportunities to strengthen each other's business club in combination with the trade services. Because if you won't make money on the business club, you might sell services to the individual companies participating, and then making it to an interesting business model where you make the money then on the trade services side.
Absolutely.
But first of all, compliments for all the preparations that you did.
Thank you.
I saw many things that I thought of, okay, I should think about that also a little bit more and more in detail, because our business club, we call it business club, but actually it's more, it's 4 to 6 events a year that we organize, and we call it a business club. Every company that joins us, they're automatically a member of our business club. But on the other hand, I don't have any real estate direct connection with my business club. So we have only 35 companies renting space here. Maybe 3 of them are only member of our business club. So it's a weird model, and it's different from all other models that I've heard so far. That's a clear thing that also Jessica mentioned. It really differs per World Trade Center probably. A major concern on my side is, okay, wonderful to have this business club, but also how to keep our members satisfied and to keep them on the that they continue their membership also for a great number of years. So maybe that might be a topic for you also to deal with in the future, and then we can also have there some recommendation of the others.
Certainly.
Thank you.
See, as I believe, as real estate developers ourselves, I believe that the underlying motive or intent behind promoting a business club is also how do you increase your premium on your real estate, on your lease rents, on your real estate costs. I think that should be the underlying principle anyway. So the more value you add to a World Trade Center services, the more premium you enjoy in your lease rents.
If I may add something to Evert-Jan, it is also that our business club is a fishing pool for our other services. So when we want to do a trade mission, when we want to do trade information on our market research, it's easy because you know the people, and that's the value of our business club. And we have also 3 thematic groups. Last week we discussed that with Evert-Jan also, and that helps getting new members. So we have a specific group on agribusiness, on energy, and on medtech. So you share there your knowledge and experience about, in that specific sector, how to conquer the world. And they are also more willing to, because they know you, to join you in a trade mission when you go abroad.
That's nice. Good to hear that.
Lower hand.
Would there be any other questions? Otherwise, I think we have reached our 1 hour slot, Crystal.
Yeah, I think so. That was fantastic. I'll circulate the presentation and then we'll talk more about the questions. I put in the chat the link for tomorrow's meeting, fireside chat with the Trade Services EMEA MAC. So please feel free, to email me as well if you need those details sent in a calendar invite. That should be an interesting discussion around how to make money with partnerships.
Otherwise, Crystal, did Maureen already sign up for it?
Maureen?
No, I haven't, but I just put it in my calendar, EJ. Okay. So I'll see you in the morning.
Wonderful. I would love to have you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Great. Well, Vineet and Care, I think that takes us to the end. Oh, thank you, Freek, for the link to your business club. I think that takes us to the end of the meeting. If we're ready to adjourn.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. We feel greatly encouraged with all the inputs we have got from you today. And please do feel free to write back even directly to me after you've seen the presentation with your inputs and advice. We'll definitely collaborate everything, put it all together, come back to you soonest with a final way forward. so that we can propose that to the WTCA.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.